Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a 3-month baby update, which is absolutely crazy. It feels like time has passed by so quickly. I'm sure you can see and hear Ella is here with me and she is feeding, and this is where her squeak gets really loud. So you'll just have to kind of ignore the squeaking for a little while I update you on what's been going on for the last 3 months. As I say, I just can't believe how quick time has gone. It's absolutely crazy. When was the last update I did? I think the last update was 4-week update, but basically she is doing really well. She has grown so much. I just can't believe the change in her from when she was first born. First of all, I'm going to talk about the squeak just because you can hear it. I know a lot of people commented on my last video saying that I should get it checked. I mentioned in my last update that I had been mentioning it to the midwives and the doctor whenever I'd been, and they said it was absolutely fine. But when we went for the 6 weeks check, I did mention it again and she said that she couldn't hear anything, but then Ella started getting a bit upset, and when she was getting upset, that's when she could hear it in her voice, or hear the squeak. So she did refer her. So we did go and see a consultant, and she has got a floppy larynx, which is what people were saying it was. However, it's very mild. It's not affecting her growth or her weight gain or anything like that. So she said there was absolutely nothing to worry about unless it started getting worse, and in that case we would take her back to get her checked again. And if they do have to check her again, they'll put a camera down her throat just to see what's going on. But in all honesty, since she's been born, it is getting less and less, and now really it's only when she really cries and when she feeds, as you can hear. So yeah, that's the squeak addressed. We are still calling her Squeak because it is the cutest nickname. And thank you for everybody who was concerned about it. She's absolutely fine. It doesn't really affect her in any way, but I do appreciate those messages. So I did touch on weight gain there, and she is gaining weight really well. She was born 8'2", and a couple of weeks ago I went and got her weighed. I'm actually due to get her weighed this week. Last time she got weighed, she was 11.7½, so she is following the 25th percentile, or just under the 25th percentile, nicely. She hadn't lost any weight when she was first born, and she was following the 50th percentile. And then about week 6 or 8, she did drop a bit, but then she's following the line again, so that's absolutely fine. So let's talk about sleep, because I think that's one of the things that people love to hear about. From about 8 weeks, Ella started sleeping through, and when I say sleeping through, I used to take her to bed at 11, and she would sleep through till 7:30. Oh lovely, Ella, she's just done a big poo. Nice. Oh lovely. It feels very warm on my leg. That feels very warm on my leg. Look at this hair. Anyway, going back to it, she was sleeping through from 11 till 7, which was really good. And that happened for quite a few nights. I think she would have continued to do that, but I was reading up and I read that babies have one long sleep cycle a day. And I was kind of thinking, well, if she's gonna go to bed at 11 and sleep through till 7-8 o'clock, she's never going to sleep all the way through the night, because I'd have to take it backwards. So I decided to start putting her to bed at 7 and let her sleep that way, thinking that she'd probably wake up around 4 o'clock-ish, then have a feed and then go back down, which she did, which was absolutely fine. I mean, it's better for her. It was worse for us because we felt like we were waking up in the middle of the night again, but ultimately I thought it would be better for her. And then Christmas Eve and the night before Christmas Eve, she actually slept all the way through. So she slept all night, which was amazing. she does stir a little bit, so she did not wake up, but she kind of started wriggling around, but I put her dummy back in and she went back off to sleep. So we had a couple of nights where she did sleep all the way through, which was brilliant, but I think because of Christmas she got a little bit unsettled, and she started sort of waking up in the middle of the night again, which I don't blame her really. I think because there was so many people around her, she wasn't going to bed at the normal times, or she wasn't really getting her naps in the day. It just kind of unsettled her a little bit, so she did started to wake up, but over the last week or so she has settled back down again, so that's really good. She is still well, as I say, she is still sort of waking up a little bit around 4 o'clock, and I think she's wanting a dummy, so I kind of put a dummy back in, and then she'll go off to sleep again, and she'll do that between 4 right until she gets up, either 7 or 8 o'clock. So I would like to try and stop that if I can. If anybody has any advice on that, I'd be very grateful. So yes, that's the sleep situation at the moment. In terms of development, she's doing so well. She's actually trying to look at the camera at the minute. She loves the TV, she loves to sit and sort of watch it. She's fascinated by it. She's fascinated by phones, so I guess it's the bright colours and the moving things that she's absolutely loving. She's smiling a lot more now. She's so alert and aware. Even this morning I noticed that she was sort of anticipating things to happen. So Anthony was kissing her and then he would move away and she would laugh, and then she would almost anticipate it happening again. So that was really nice to see. You can really see that she's starting to develop with those kind of things. She does tend to be quite a contented baby, however she does let you know when something's wrong. So she just cries, and it can be quite difficult sometimes because you really don't know what's wrong. You're like, are you tired? Are you hungry? Are you bored? And as any new mum knows, it's just a bit of a guessing game. So yes, she is quite content, but she does love to cry. Definitely. Don't you? Yes you do. Yes you do. She's getting really strong, so when she's laying on her back she can really lift her head up and hold her own head up now, which is amazing. We are still working on tummy time. If she's laying on her chest she seems to be able to lift her head up fine, but when she's actually on the floor it seems a bit more difficult for her. We do hold her bum down just to try and help her to lift her head up, so we are definitely working on that. But she is super strong, so that's good. She had her 10-week jabs a few weeks ago, which I was a little bit nervous about. So they have 2 injections in one leg, 1 in another, and then an oral like medicine. And she was absolutely fine. She did cry a little bit, but then she settled down. She was actually quite hungry at the time, so the lady or the nurse did the injections first and then gave her the oral medicine, and she seemed to really like that. Oh, excuse you. Yeah, she seemed to really like that because she was hungry, so I think that was a good thing. And she didn't particularly seem unsettled that evening either. I know that sometimes they can be a bit unsettled, but she seemed absolutely fine. She has her 2nd round of jabs this week, so on Friday this week. And they're not supposed to be as bad as the first or the last one, so hopefully they'll be okay. She got quite a few gifts at Christmas, so toys, teddy bears, things like that. Quite a lot of musical things and flashing things, which she's loving. She does have a doll which we call Lucy Lou, and she absolutely loves it. I think it's because this doll has big eyes, and every time she sees it she just smiles and laughs, and she'll just sit there having a conversation with this little doll. It's really cute. As far as me, I'm doing really well as well. Around week 9 my episiotomy scar seemed to be really quite sore again. I'm not quite sure why, but after about a week it did settle down. I just kept an eye on it and made sure that it didn't get any worse. I mentioned in my last video that I had stopped breastfeeding and was bottle feeding Ella, and honestly I feel so much happier now, and I think because I feel happier she's also a bit more settled, so it was definitely the right decision for us to make. Within the first 3 weeks of having Ella, I lost about 1.5 stone. A few people were saying what's a stone in pounds, so that's 14 pounds in a stone. So I lost 1.5 stone, and I'd only put on 2 stone during pregnancy, but as soon as I stopped breastfeeding I put on 0.5 stone again. So not that I'm particularly worried about my weight at the moment. I do think that I definitely need to stop indulging in sweets and chocolate and things like that. Obviously it's hard over the Christmas period, but now that I can see that weight starting to creep on again, I need to try and sort my diet out so I've got a bit more energy. I think I've just convinced myself that having a lot of sugar is going to give me more energy to get through the day, but I know that's not true. So I do need to shape up my diet a little bit so that I am being a bit more healthy, and it would be a bonus if I was to lose weight as well. And I think I'm generally just settling into a bit more of a routine with her now, just because I know what to expect from her, which is really good. I would ideally like to be in a bit more of a routine, but still she's only 3 months, she's not going to be quite there yet. Dear, are you alright? I just keep getting a glimpse of the hair sticking up here. It just can't decide which way it wants to go today. So that is Ella's 3-month update. I hope you've enjoyed having a bit of a catch up. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to keep up to date with all of my latest videos. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the support you've offered me over the last few months. It's been absolutely amazing. I shall see you again in my next video. Thanks guys. Bye. Say bye Ella. Bye bye.